Hello guys, welcome to a new video. Do you want to travel to Norway on a budget? Despite being one of the most expensive countries in the world, this is possible. Do you want to learn how? Stick to this video and I'll share with you how I traveled to Norway for less than 20 euros a day. Are you ready? I went there together with my girlfriend on the summer of 2018, from the 31st of August till the 10th of September, a total of 11 days. Before we go more in depth into all the expenses we had, I think that it's important that I share with you a little bit on how my trip was there. So the way the trip went is that we flew to Oslo Gardermoen airport, and then from there we took a bus to Hønefoss, and from there we did a trail of 5 days, and we went through Vassfaret National Park, which by the way it's amazing. It's not very well known, it was not touristy at all. We found only I think 2 people throughout the 5 days that we were there, and we really loved it. And then from there we hitchhiked to Lærdalsøyri. Sorry, my pronunciation is horrible, but you have it written just here. And from there we went through the largest tunnel in, I believe, Norway at least, to Flåm, and then from Flåm we hiked through to Myrdal, as you can see in the map, and finally we just took the train from Myrdal back to the airport, which by the way was super nice. So the way we were traveling, as you probably guessed by how I explained, was that we took public transport such as bus or train. Actually we only took 2, and then the rest we were hitchhiking to move around, and also, well, hiking ourselves. In Norway, for those of you who don't know, you can set your tent wherever you want, except like on private property, but basically you can set it anywhere you want. And that's really the key on how we managed to travel to Norway on such a budget basis. Let's go straight to all the expenses. The first one was the flights. So we took flights from Barcelona to Oslo and back. And we checked in just 1 luggage, mainly because we were carrying all the camping gear like the tent and so on. The total cost for the flights for the 2 of us was of 239 euros and 96 cents. I must say that we only took the flights a month in advance, so most probably we could have gotten those flights much cheaper than we actually did, but still we found them to be a pretty good deal, and we just wanted to escape for a few days, so it was perfect for us. The second expense was the bus that we took to Hønefoss on the first day when we arrived to the airport. And actually, well, Norway is an expensive country, so the cost of it was of 48 euros and 11 cents, although it was only about an hour long or something. The next expense was the train. We took the train from Myrdal all the way to Oslo Gardermoen, which you can see here in the map, and that's quite a long way, to be fair. And we only spent 53 euros and 85 cents for both of us. That's because we booked it in advance, and actually comparing with other like trains and timetables, we would be spending around 150 to 200 euros for the same journey that we took for just 53 euros. So we were very happy with that. Next one is the food. I divided the food between the food that we brought from Spain and the food that we bought in Norway. So the food that we brought here from Spain was of a total cost of 35 euros. And we basically took things such as pasta, rice, powdered milk, some cereals, and some other stuff. Why we did that? We did that because here in Spain everything's much cheaper and affordable than when you go to Norway, and our backpacks were half empty, and so we had a lot of space, so we decided to put all that food inside, and actually we saved a lot of money. And we didn't waste our time while we were there going to buy food in the supermarkets. But obviously we couldn't live out of everything we carried from Spain, so we had to buy something there. We mainly bought bread, some Nutella, and yeah, some other stuff just there. And the total cost of that was of 13 euros and 63 cents. Also, I want to add in terms of food that we found lots of eatable mushrooms as well as berries that we kept eating throughout our way, and that was super nice as well to have. Finally, the last expense we had when we were there was that we had to buy a gas stove. That was our fault because we didn't check whether the upper part of the stove would work with the canisters sold in Norway. So we just had to buy like the full stove again. And that was 42 euros and 76 cents. I want to point out another thing, which is that throughout this list you don't see any accommodation cost. And that's because we didn't have any. We were camping actually wherever we wanted, mostly in the forest, but actually I must say that on our last day we had a very early flight, so we set our tent just next to the airport, next to a parking there. So yeah, again, to sum up, zero cost for accommodation. If we add all of these up, it comes out to a total amount spent there of 433 euros and 31 cents for both of us, me and my girlfriend. And if we divide this on how much we spent per person, it comes to 216 euros and 66 cents. If we divide these expenses per person between the 11 days that we were there, we see that we spent only 19 euros and 70 cents per person and per day. As you can see, super cheap. To sum up, we traveled to Norway, a super expensive country, for just 19 euros and 70 cents per day. This is super cheap, but how did we achieve this? We didn't spend any money on accommodation because, as I said, we were sleeping on a tent. Also, in terms of transportation, we took public transport and we went hitchhiking, which meant that we didn't spend money to drive around. And actually I must say that it was very easy for us to get a ride. The longest we had to wait was for 1 hour, and all the Norwegians that took us were super nice, super friendly. They even invited us to their house. Finally, the last takeaway is that we took the food, we bought it in advance here in Spain, and that also saved us quite a lot of money, maybe around 40 to 50 euros, because the prices in Norway are double, maybe triple or even more than here in Spain. Again, this will depend a lot on the country you live in, but for me personally, coming from Spain, it is much cheaper to buy just everything here than there. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I tried to be very short and concise. I hope you really got the picture, which is mainly that you can travel to Norway on a budget, and that you can get out of your head that Norway is a super expensive country that you cannot afford, because you actually can.